So you opened this video because you want to know exactly how to become a digital nomad in the post-coronavirus world. Or maybe you're just curious to see if this is even a possible thing to do. Well, the good news is you're at the right place, and yes, it is still possible to travel, but it's going to be different. Before we get into this video, I want you to take a moment and step back and think about two things. Number one, is this lifestyle right for you? To help you understand that, why don't you check out my previous video right here, in which I talk about the pros and cons of the digital nomad lives, so you can get a full picture of how this lifestyle works and see if it's a good fit for you. Number two, are you willing to travel in the post-COVID world? Because I hate to break it to you, traveling is going to be a lot more different compared to before the pandemic. Even though it is still possible to travel, but because there are a lot more restrictions and therefore there are going to be a lot more things to consider when you're on the road. If your answers to both questions are yes, then yay, congratulations, welcome to my tribe. I'm so happy to have you here, and let's get right into the video. The first and the most important step of becoming a digital nomad is obviously figure out how you can make money online. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, being a digital nomad is a lifestyle. You don't just go on a 2 weeks vacation and come back to your 9-to-5 job. No, that's why you need to have some sort of income coming in constantly to sustain this lifestyle. The easiest way is to see if your current job can be done online. Well, the reality is, if you're already working from home for the past couple months because of social distancing, you should already know that your job can be done online. So what are you waiting for? Set up a meeting with your boss and ask if you can transition fully to a remote worker, even after things are back to normal. I can confidently tell you this because that's exactly what I went through even way before the pandemic, but it was much harder for me, obviously. Just like a lot of you, I started out working in an office from 9 to 5 for almost 2 years, and I realized that it wasn't a right fit for me. So I set up a meeting with my boss and told them about my remote request, and it wasn't until meetings after meetings of me convincing them that I can do the same job but in a different location that they finally agreed to let me work remotely. The entire negotiation process wasn't easy, and it got quite uncomfortable, and it took me 2 years to finally have the courage to ask my boss. But sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith. And you know what, guys? Now it's easier than ever to send that remote request because of the pandemic and the work from home situations. And I'm pretty sure a lot of companies nowadays will be so open to let their employees to work remotely. So take advantage of that, and all you have to do is to ask. I know some of you might ask,
but wait, Joanna, my job cannot be done online, or I have no online skill. What do I do?
Well, let me stop you right there. If you really want to be able to have the freedom to work from anywhere you want, then you might want to consider just get another job which allows you to work online, or start looking into freelance gigs. Because the truth is, you can actually become a digital nomad with no skills and experience. To prove that, I'm going to show you a list of real jobs that's posted on freelancing websites like Fiverr and Upwork that require literally 0 to no experience. As you can see, if you can read, write, or listen to audios and type down words, you're already on your way to earning income online. So doing freelancing work is a great way to get your foot in the door. On the other hand, one of the most common jobs in the digital nomad world is to become a freelance remote social media manager, which is how I currently make my money. If you guys are curious, I do have a video right here where you can get some general ideas of how to become a social media manager. And spoiler alert, I do have a course coming up where I'll give you guys all the necessary, concrete, actionable steps from getting your first client to how to effectively manage your client's social media account and everything in between about social media marketing. So stay tuned. Now that you have some idea of how to make money online, the next step is to figure out where and when can you travel. Yes, there are still a lot of uncertainties in the travel industries, and there are going to be restrictions in place like limited flight, mandatory quarantine, wearing masks, or social distancing. The good news is a lot of countries are slowly having the coronavirus outbreak under control and planning the reopening as early as this July. And on top of that, things are going to be a lot cheaper. I've gone ahead and done some research for you guys, and I found this really helpful article about the latest post-COVID travel deals. I'll link it down in my description box below, and I highly recommend you guys to check it out. Despite all of that, if you guys are curious, I do have a list of amazing cities and countries that are super popular among the nomads because of the affordable accommodation, really fast, reliable Wi-Fi, amazing local culture, good, cheap food, and a well-established nomad communities, and I can't wait for you guys to check out those places once those countries are opening again. The next couple of things are logistics. They're kind of mundane, but I feel like I need to walk through them with you because they're really important as well. The first thing is, of course, visa. I don't want to get too much into it because not only everyone has different passport privilege, but because of the pandemic situation, you might consider things like having a COVID test result or comply to a mandatory quarantine. And on top of that, every country will have their own restriction and requirements, so make sure to do all the necessary research before purchasing your plane ticket. The next on the list is travel insurance. To be very transparent with you, I'm not a fan of insurance of any sort, okay? But now that we're living in a coronavirus world, I think it's a smarter idea to have a travel medical insurance, don't you agree? I know some insurance can get quite expensive, so my money saving tip for you is before you even shop for insurance, make sure to check with your bank and see if your credit card already comes with some sort of travel protection, because it will save you a lot of money down the road. However, because of the types and the levels of travel insurance can vary significantly across different credit cards, so it's really overwhelming to know which credit card is the best for you. So I'm going to link an article in my description box below that explains everything you need to know in details regarding the best credit cards that comes with travel insurance. But if you don't want to apply for new credit card, I do recommend you to check out these insurance company because they have great policies for long-term travelers. I mentioned this multiple times in my previous videos already, but having a stable internet connection is so important when you work remotely. So forget about your original phone plans or buying a portable Wi-Fi because those are useless. The best way to do is to buy a SIM card, because some of those countries and cities that I mentioned previously, they tend to have cheaper phone plans available, and some of them have even greater coverage. Last but not least on this list is banking. So the best way to avoid paying for foreign transaction fee is to have a travel credit card. Some travel credit card company will even offer perks like free lounge access in the airport, travel insurance, or air mile points, and etc. So make sure to check with your bank and see if you're eligible to apply for a good travel credit card. Now, some countries like Indonesia will prefer you to pay in cash, so I also recommend you to always bring your debit card with you and do not use a credit card to withdraw money from a bank or an ATM, because the money that you withdraw from your credit card is considered cash advance and you have to pay really high interest rate for that. Oh, and don't forget to let your bank know that you'll be traveling in advance so that your card won't get blocked or being mistaken as compromised. In case you guys need to do international transfer, instead of paying a high fee to your bank, or sometimes you just have to wait forever, which is really annoying, I recommend you guys look into something called Transferwise. The transaction is really fast and the exchange rate is way cheaper than any other banks that I know, or PayPal. So if you guys are interested, I have a link down below in my description box for you. So there you have it. I hope this video will give you some general idea of how to become a digital nomad. Yes, even though we're now living in this new reality, and yes, even though there's gonna be some challenges when it comes to travel, but is it still possible to become a digital nomad? Yes, absolutely. In fact, it's easier than ever because a lot of you guys have been working from home due to social distancing for a while, and it's very likely that your company will allow you to do so in the future. Just make sure that you do your research about the country that you wanted to visit and have a really good travel insurance that cover COVID-19 related claims, and there's absolutely no reason you couldn't have this lifestyle that you want. As always, if you guys found this video helpful, or if you have any questions or concerns, do leave a comment down below and let me know, and I'll see you guys next time, and good luck!